Clem area, just north of Yuma. It's a beautiful morning. It's a Wednesday. I think this time I'd like to talk to you about staying beautiful on the road. With just 2 hours a day, you could follow my beauty regimen and have your friends saying, "Wow, you have really wasted your time staying clean on the road." At least how I'm staying clean on the road. And my strategy, my plan is more or less working. As I mentioned previously, I don't have a real shower in my rig. I don't even have a pump shower or a solar shower. So I'm keeping it very simple inside the rig, which begs the question, how are you staying clean on a daily basis? And it basically has two factors. Today is a Wednesday. Since today is a Wednesday, that means that I go to town, I take myself to the gym, and I take a shower, and I take Cosmo to the dog park. That's our deal. And he gets his socializing in. Now, Yuma is a great stop for us. It really ticks all the boxes. It has great free camping in a warm climate that's close to town, close to Yuma itself. And Yuma has anything you could want, including the Planet Fitness that I'm relying on. Hopefully it hasn't been closed for renovations or anything. I haven't been to this one yet. But it also has a UPS store. I sent them some documents to print out, which I'm going to pick up today. And, any kind of grocery store or restaurant you might want. But the point is that having the Planet Fitness Black Card has really been a central keystone of my efforts to keep myself clean, presentable, and healthy on the road. And generally, I go to Planet Fitness on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I take a full shower, and I, of course, exercise at the gym. And as an added bonus, I can use the Wi-Fi if I want to put a couple movies onto my Surface and not use up my data. Sometimes when I go into the health club with my stuff, I often will forget something, so I've gotten in the habit of trying to plan for the 3 stages of the gym, I guess you could say. So here's my gym bag, and I'll start with what I need when I'm exercising. So I've got my earbuds, my sweatband, and I'm wearing my gym clothes before I head in there. And then I'll want the things that I need for showering at the health club. And I'm a big believer in using just a smaller towel. I guess this is a hand towel, because I can carry 7 of these very easily instead of full-size towels. Having a bunch of these and bringing them into the gym and taking them along with me on the trip is just much easier. I don't need a full-size towel. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a guy and I have short hair, but I don't really see, if you're trying to minimize, I don't see the value in carrying full-size towels. In fact, I tend to use these at home just so that I make less laundry. And here in my toiletries drawer, I have a bunch of these hand towels that fit nicely, and I can use a fresh, clean one every time, so that's nice. And I don't have to worry about trying to dry them out. Just throw them in the hamper, because I have 7 of them. Flip-flops, of course. I've never gotten any foot fungus or anything from using a locker room shower, but I'm not trying to, so I always bring these. And I have just the simple 3-in-1 discount store shampoo body wash combination, which again I can do that because I have low standards. The green cloth is just there in case there's any leaks or anything. It doesn't make a mess. I don't use that for anything. It just stays in the bag. Of course, I always have my combination lock with me when I go to the health club. And then I have finally the clothes that I'm going to put on when I walk out. So I have everything that I need. Working out stuff, shower stuff, and clothes to change into. I went to the other one on Wednesday and it was fine. No problem, no complaints, clean, everything worked. But the machines were a little bit close together. It was a little bit cramped in there. So I thought, oh, maybe I'll try the one on the other side of town here. So I do feel like this one had a little bit better layout. This one was nice and spacious. This one did have soap dispensers in the shower. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And then this one, for some reason, they don't sell protein shakes. So I'll have to make my own protein shake. But that's the thing, because they're independently owned, they follow the same formula, but you will notice differences. They might have a different machine, not exactly the machine you were looking for, different layouts, and just be prepared for these little differences and it will be fine. Now some people, if you're not into the gym culture, you might be intimidated by going into locker rooms and using the showers and everything. I will say that most people in these showers, they don't walk around, most people in these locker rooms don't seem to walk around buck naked like in some gyms. Most people seem to go to the shower in their underclothes and bring the change of underclothes with them, and then dry off and put on their fresh underclothes in the shower. So it doesn't seem to be typical for a lot of people who walking around buck naked to and from the showers, although some people do it, but I wouldn't be intimidated by that. Seems like maybe that's from a bygone era. Seems like 20 years ago, dudes were more likely to just walk around buck naked than they are today, or maybe it was just where I happened to be. But anyway, good location, got what I needed, and now I'm ready to go. Any day that I'm going to be staying put, or at least not going to a Planet Fitness, I'm going to be doing what the Victorians did, you know, what people did for centuries, which was to heat up some water, have it in some kind of a vessel in the bedroom probably, and give yourself, you know, a sponge bath. And I think if you've never stayed clean this way, you'd be surprised at how effective and refreshing it is. And without getting into too many graphic details, I'll show you how I'm doing this. Okay, I will try to keep this brief. It doesn't take a genius to imagine how you would get yourself cleaned up at a wash basin, but I will show you how I do it with my particular setup. First thing I need to do is heat up some water in the kettle. I think this particular kettle is 1400 watts. So after it's been heating for a moment or two, you hear the fan on the you'll hear the fan on the inverter start to blow because it's kind of working. I showed this once before, but I've rigged up a little holder stand deal so that when my basin is in place, it can stay here even when I'm driving around, and if there's a little bit of water in there, it'll stay put. But I'll do sort of a 1-to-1 ratio of hot water and cold water. That feels about right. In my drawer here I have my toothbrush, floss things, and my vitamins. And I don't really need one of these towels. These are really a lifesaver. I have a big bag of these towels. These microfiber towels, you can get them at any home improvement store. and I use these for everything. I don't like to use paper towels. It seems wasteful, and they never seem to work very well. I go through a ton of these in the course of a week. I use them for everything, and then I just throw them in with the laundry. If it gets too bad, if there's like, grease or something, I will. If it gets too nasty, I will just throw one away. But I still feel like it's a lot less waste than using paper towels. But I'll use a couple of these, and I'll get myself cleaned up here, and put on my fresh clothes, and be as fresh as a daisy, or at least comparatively. I'll be a lot better off than I am now. So that's basically it. Since I'm kind of a dirtbag, and I don't have to worry too much about applying for jobs or going out on fancy occasions, I can get by with having a real shower, a minimum of 3 times a week, doing my Victorian showering the rest of the time. Oh my goodness. Cosmo, get back up here. Stay out of that canal. Do my Victorian sponge bath, whatever you want to call it, my toilette. I can do that the rest of the days of the week and stay pretty clean that way. I am really enjoying my time here outside of Yuma. Just a great place to spend the winter. Yuma is a strange place because right now it's the high season. People are doing what I'm doing, avoiding the cold weather. But the town is just packed with these RV resorts, and they're huge, dusty parking lots just full of every kind of RV you can imagine. They're all crammed in next to each other, and obviously the people love it. I mean, they do it every year, clearly. God bless them. And I can understand them enjoying the weather at this time of year, this location. What I don't understand is why so many of those people are packed into the RV parks in town while 20 minutes away so few people are here with me. Well, to each his own, but I guess I should just be thankful that I can have this seclusion first thing in the morning